Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on another episode of Goodnight Gamescast. I am your host, Moises Rodriguez, and joining me today, as always, the one, the magnificent, the talented, Jesus Morales, aka Wave. What's up, dude? How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Doing good. A little tired, but it's like grogginess of like not knowing what to do on your day off.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, it's
like,
kind of like, Were you productive today? Did you get things done?
Kind of. Like my girlfriend worked, so I had to take her to work.
Yeah.
But I guess, yeah, I was pretty productive. Which, like, just off the top of my head real quick, I just added another game to the list of what I want to talk about.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, like I would just, woke up, got some food, worked out, so I guess I was like up and about like fairly early, and I don't know, but like I get home and I'm like, oh, I have time to play games, and like, oh, what do I play?
Yeah. All right.
So
well,
I'll get to it right now, just because like there's like this thing I want to kind of share with you guys.
All right. Well, kind of works for me, dude. Kind of productive works for me because it's just not doing shit, right? But yeah. Anyways, guys, welcome to Goodnight Gamescast, the podcast where we talk about all things gaming. Before we get into some of what we've been playing and some other questions for our show today, I want to go over some housekeeping really quick, that we can go ahead and proceed. So if you're a new listener, thank you for joining us. If you're a new viewer, thank you for watching. This is Goodnight Gamescast. Again, it goes up every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. And then we have another show called Last Call, that goes up every Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific time as well. Now, if you're not into podcast listening, you're more of a viewer, we do have a new YouTube channel, Goodnight Cast. You can go ahead and follow us there if you really watch these episodes in a video format. By the way, if you can give us a follow, like, subscribe, that would be awesome, because we are trying to grow that channel little by little. And, everything pretty much helps, right? So we really appreciate that. Now, if you want to follow our social media, Jesus, you can find him on Twitter and Instagram at WaveEXE. And you can find myself at Moy Division on both Twitter and Instagram. Both of the usernames have no periods, no underscores, no
shenanigans.
No shenanigans. No, sir. No, ma'am. Nuh-uh. All right, so that pretty much covers our housekeeping. Now, Jesus, I'd like to ask you, man, what's this new game that you just remembered and you want to talk about?
Oh, you want to go for that new one first?
Yeah, let's do that, and then let's do the other one for sure.
Yeah, so I am not in the best of shape. I am a very unhealthy person.
I think
you already know what it is.
I think I know what you're. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching this in like 2020, you can kind of just guess what it is now. If you were watching it maybe like 2007, maybe a different game.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, like I said, like I'm not a very healthy person. I used to smoke a lot. Fun fact, I haven't smoked in a while now. It's been like a month and a half now.
Hey,
so
that's cool, man.
Pretty good. I did say that I wasn't smoking due to COVID, just trying to like watch out for myself, but sometimes the demons come out and play. They sure do. Like I've been doing better at it, so I'm pretty happy with myself. Yeah. But like I still just eat like trash, I drink a lot of soda. I don't drink a lot of water. So cheers.
Cheers, dude.
I'll take a sip of that.
I'll take a sip in the meantime.
Well, yeah, point is, I'm not a very healthy person. I also never have like enough motivation to like go out to a gym and work out.
Especially right now.
Also, yeah, especially right now. Like I have an active gym membership, actually.
Yeah.
And shout outs to Planet Fitness for fucking me over and still charging me, even though I don't want to go to the gym because I feel unsafe to.
Yep.
Shout out to them.
Shouties.
Yeah, so like it's always like, kind of uncomfortable, and then like not knowing too much about fitness, like it's always like a daunting thing. So it's like, well, how do I work out? Like what kind of regimen do I follow? Like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
It's always been just like a hassle for me. And then, like I'll try it out. I'll end up like kind of dropping it for a little bit. So it just doesn't mesh well with me. But recently I picked up Ring Fit Fitness.
You know how I knew? Because I was on my Switch the other day, and I saw Raven.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Playing, I was like, came up on the top, and I was like, wow, all right, cool.
Yeah. So, I'm on like day 2 for it. So,
okay.
Not much to say about it. Like, you know, like it's one of those games where like you can't really like measure how many hours you played. You know.
Okay.
You know, it's about like keep playing it or like just playing it like, you know, daily or 3 times a week or depending on like how you kind of want to work out. But man, like I'm actually having a lot of fun. Like,
okay.
You know, because like working out is not fun for me. Every time I'll work out, I'll do it, you know, due to like stress or like anxiety where like I just want to like get my mind off things. I don't do it like to have fun, especially like running. Like I fucking hate running.
Yeah.
I think it's just, God, I hate it. Like I just don't know how to run properly. And then I just think I look goofy doing it. But I'm also like very long and lanky. So it's like, that's just not, no one wants to see that.
Oh no.
So I've been playing it. It's really fun, man. Like it's actually really cool, and just the way that they set up your workouts and like the story is just boring. You know, it's just like you gotta save the world.
Oh, it has a story.
Out, you know? Yeah. No, it has an actual story.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Like, it's not,
okay.
It's actually an RPG. It's actually an RPG.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so.
I, you know, honestly, man, I don't know anything about this game. I mean, obviously, I know it's like for workout and stuff like that, and the ring and everything. But honestly, just thought it was like mini games. You know, it's kind of like, you know, like do this.
So check it out. So I'll give you like a little synopsis.
All right,
of
for sure.
So you essentially you connect a Joy-Con to the actual ring, and then you do the other Joy-Con on like a leg strap.
Okay.
So the ring has tension. Actually, we have video podcast, so we can just show you.
Oh, true.
So this is the ring right here.
That's definitely a ring.
Yeah, you can actually like connect. you connect the Joy-Con right here.
Yeah.
And it actually has tension. So like when you press it or pull it, like you feel it, you know.
Okay.
And then you get a leg strap for the Joy-Con. So because there's like sections where you have to like lightly jog or like do like high steps.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, it's just a workout game.
Yeah.
But the main story, like the main mode of it is, I think it's just called adventure mode.
Okay.
It's an actual story, you know, like you find a magical ring that, you know, you have to use to like defeat this like evil dragon, but like the evil dragon is just like doing push-ups and shit.
Oh fuck.
You know? And yeah, so like you just have to like get through the level like by running, like you're just kind of like jogging and your character starts moving.
Yeah.
And then you gotta like pull or like crush the ring to like shoot like wind.
Okay.
To, like get coins. But you have like encounters. So like as you're running, you'll find like little like monsters that if you like once you touch them, you'll go into like an actual like battle.
Okay.
And the way that you do attacks is with different workouts.
Okay. All right.
So like there's stuff where you have to like do like lunges. You know, sometimes like you'll have to like just like crush the ring for a certain amount of time, and then once you let it go, like that releases the attack.
Okay. And does it actually make you sweaty? Like, do you actually feel like at the end of workout,
yes.
you're like, oh fuck,
yes.
like really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, yeah. So like at the beginning, you actually like, you know, like set your height, your weight, your gender, or and then it'll tell you like it'll kind of like try to like guess what you should be working out, like how intense your workout should be. But you can also like lower the difficulty. So like if it's too much for you or it's too easy, you can either up it or down it. I went with like kind of like an average one, you know. I was like, oh, like I want like a high intensity one, you know, like just, you know, I want to work, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It was too much.
Really?
It was actually too much, man. Yeah, like 10 minutes in, I was just like straight up just dying, man. Just because it just, you know, like the enemies have more health, so then you have to like do more exercises so you can like defeat them.
Right. Okay.
And then even like the timer, because like you like for certain attacks, like the ones where you have to like crush the ring.
Yeah.
You have to like hold it like for like a certain amount of time, and then like a gauge fills, and once it's filled, that's when you release it. Oh. So that's like 1 rep. So I guess like the higher the difficulty, like they have more health, and the gauge like rises like slower. So like each rep is just like harder, you know, because you have to like hold it for longer.
Right.
Because like I mean like once we actually like get to see each other, like I'll let you like try it out just so you can see like how actual like how hard the tension is
like
on
the
ring.
resistance
Like,
it
looks pretty flimsy, but like it's hard.
Yeah, I was about to say like that because I have like the tension bands for when I work out here at home. I have like the ones with the grabs and you string, and I have like the rubber bands and stuff like that. And like those are like obviously resistance bands, right? So they're pretty tough. And I look at this and I'm like, okay, well, it looks plasticky and like a video game, right? Like it just makes me think of all the Nintendo like Wii stuff, like the wheels and everything they sell it for, right? And I've actually never touched one, so that's like my idea in my head. So yeah, you're telling me it's actually like solid.
Yeah, like it's solid enough that it won't break.
Right.
But it's flexible enough for you to bend and like do like all your like exercises for like long periods of time. I have seen people like report that, you know, like it's like warped now.
Oh,
you know,
right, yeah.
From like just like constantly bending it. But there's also like a lot of people that they're like, no, like it's fine. I'm also thinking like it's probably like due to like higher temperatures.
Yeah, probably gets fucking hot.
Might also be that.
Yeah. Melt the plastic.
So it makes it like just more malleable.
Right, right.
But yeah, so that's essentially like the gist of the game, and then you just have to like go through levels. And the workouts, I think like the enemies get easier as you go, just because you do level up. Like depending on like how many workouts like you do, they give you experience, and then your character levels up. So either get like more attack or defense, and then or like more hearts. So you have to like you can do like longer battles, stuff like that.
Okay.
But then there's also a mode where you could just do like you know like focus on like a part of your body and then just do those specific workouts for like a certain amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah, so like my girlfriend started doing those, and then she said like it was actually really good, like, and it actually like kind of like kicked her ass too. But she liked it better than the story, just because it is a lot of talking, and then like since you're like the ring con is your controller, instead of like pressing buttons, like you have to like squeeze to like press A essentially. So you're just constantly just kind of like squeezing just to skip everything.
Yeah.
So like I'm pretty sure the specific exercises are actually just much better as far as you just working out.
Right.
But it feels fun and intuitive because it has like the whole ring thing. You know, it's not just like just lifting weights up and down or like doing push-ups or anything like that.
For sure.
But yeah, it's actually really cool, man. Like it's actually like a really worth it experience.
Hell yeah. Nice. Okay. And then what's that other game?
The other game is actually one that I just bought because I've been trying to play it for like a long time, and I just never got around to it. And it is on sale for like the Steam Summer Sale. Okay. And it's Disco Elysium for the PC. Yeah. So, you know, highly acclaimed game. You know, won tons of awards for like narrative. You know, like just overall game. Yeah. And I was always like very curious, like, okay, like what's up with this? You know, like I hadn't heard anything about it like until like it got all those awards. Yeah. But I was just curious, you know, like why is it so good? You know, why is everyone like it so much? So essentially, it's if you want to boil it down to that, it's essentially a visual novel. Okay. You know, you're just kind of just talking to people, figuring out what's going on in the world, and then just move like kind of like point and click, moving your character around. But it's very interesting because it does dialogue in like a Dungeons and Dragons style. So you get all the dialogue, but depending on the situations, you get different checks for different things. Right. So, you know, like if you have like compassion or you're trying to like reach out to someone and, you know, like you have like pretty good empathy, you can make an empathy check and then, you know, see if you can actually like relate to them in order for them to give you like more information.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So like different things like that. But man, like I don't want to say like it's fun because like I'm still just a couple hours in. Okay. Like I still haven't gotten to like the nitty gritty of the game. Yeah. But it's just so interesting the way that they do things. Because it is just a detective story. Like you're a detective and you're trying to like solve a murder that happened in this like European town. I don't remember what the town is called. Okay. But you're kind of like an alcoholic. So like you wake up hungover in your hotel room and like your hotel room is just like completely trashed. Oh no. So you actually don't even know that you're a cop.
What?
Yeah, so like you're like wake up and you're just like, what's going on? And just by talking to people, like you go outside your room and like some girl's just smoking outside and she's just like good evening, officer, and they're just like, what? And then you're just kind of like tying everything together, but like you don't know who you are, you didn't know you were a cop, you don't have a gun, you don't have a badge, you still like at this, like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna get like more in depth, but like as of right now, you just think that you're just a fucking drunk slob. That you like completely forgot, like you've like the most incompetent like detective ever.
Yeah.
So yes, but like you were assigned to go to this town to like solve the murder. So like I'm pretty much that far ahead. You know, like I'm just kind of talking to everyone, kind of getting to know just the charms and like mechanics of this game.
Okay.
Because it's jam packed, man. Like there's a lot to do in that game. Besides the checks, like there's kind of like this thought system where you're kind of talking to someone and like a random thought will come into your mind, like in the dialogue box, and you can kind of choose to entertain the thought and like kind of like develop that idea more, or just kind of like ignore it and then keep going with your conversation with that person.
Okay.
So like you're in your own head a lot of the times, but you can get like a lot of really cool like dialogue between like you and your brain.
Yeah.
That way. And then even then, through certain conversation routes, you get, I forgot what they were called, but there's like something thoughts as well. But they're like a different kind of thought where you can actually like, they're essentially like ideals or like convictions. And you have like a separate menu for them and you can entertain them, and they actually like have like a timer, like a in-game timer, where once they finish, you actually get like some sort of stat boosts.
Yeah. So
for example, like I was talking to this one bartender, and he was kind of complaining that so he's a kitchen like the cafeteria manager.
Okay.
And you were asking him like, well, where's the bartender? And he was saying that like, well, she actually quit, and like he's like kind of upset about it, like he doesn't know why. And he's like, well, like I thought we were like really good friends, you know, like I'm just her boss, but like we were like getting along really well. So I ended up asking her out, and like there's like an option for you to say like, hey man, like that's not cool, like you're her boss, like you shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
And like he just kind of gets like defensive about it. He's like, what are you talking about, man? Like, and then he just kind of tells you like, wait, like are you like a feminist or something? And then you get an option like hell yeah I am, like and you just kind of get in his face about it, and then you go into this whole conversation of just you're the main character just, you know, just defending women like forever. And just getting like super aggressive about it. So you eventually, like after that conversation, you get like a conviction called inexplicable feminist agenda.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like a 4-hour like thought that you have to like entertain. But once you finish it, you get like +2 intimidation against men.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
So like so it's not just like random like stat boosts like 2 points to strength. Like no, they're like like very specific like stat boosts. So yeah, like I mean, I've only gotten that one and like a couple others that I haven't like explored too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just the way that like this game does actual like stat points, just like character building, but not like in story wise, like just literally like just character creation.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really like it gives you a lot of freedom of doing things.
That sounds cool.
I want to see like how many. Yeah, like I want to see how many actual thoughts there are, and the story seems like interesting enough. You know, just because it's just, you know, just a regular murder, but like I know there has to be more than that. You know?
Right? Yeah, it has to have like all these. If it's a story based game, you know, like the story is probably really fucking good. So yeah, definitely probably run into that. Yeah, because right now, like about how far are you into the game approximately?
I only played it that first day that I got it.
Okay.
Just because of that, like it's one of those things where I kind of finished everything that I really wanted to play.
Okay.
As far as like immediately.
Yeah.
And then, so right now I'm kind of like in that dead zone where I'm like, I'm just kind of like, you know, playing random things, cleaning up like platinum trophies that I want to get. Just kind of waiting for like Tsushima, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's right around the corner, and like I don't want to like jump back to like Persona 5 Royale.
Right.
It's like it's such a long game that like I'm not gonna finish it before Tsushima comes out. So I don't want to just like leave it hanging like that. So I'm just kind of just playing random things here and there. Right. But Disco Elysium seems really fun, and it's one of those games where, like I literally actually have to like dedicate time to it just because I have to like sit at my computer and play.
Yeah, for sure.
So I kind of like that on that. Whereas like if it was on like PS4, then I have like my whole library there just like staring at me, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to play.
Yeah, not for sure. Yeah, and you know what? I feel the same way. Like I don't really want to pick something up right now, because I was playing Persona 5 Royal. Yeah. But I kind of put a pause. I put a pin on it, and I was like, I come back to you. I promise I'll come back to you. And then I have Persona 4 Golden as well. Like, I replayed it countless times, but I'm like, we have a little project going on, so I'm like, I'll get back to you as well. Because Ghost of Tsushima is coming out, in 11 days. Actually, when this goes live, it's going to be 10 days. All right? 10 days. So, yeah, same. So, with that being said, I'm playing right now 2 games that are kind of like in and out. It's nothing to keep my focus on, right? So the first game I've been playing, Jesus, it's not my first time playing it. I played this game, shit, man, back when I was like maybe like around 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, really?
And I'm playing it again. And
it's not Ocarina of Time?
No, it's not. Sadly, it's not Ocarina of Time. I try to play Ocarina of Time at least like once every like 2 years or so. I haven't played it in a while, however, because I'm just waiting for Nintendo to stop being cowards and put it on the Switch. Please, chop port it. I would really appreciate it. Just imagine, dude. Just imagine a port: Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. Come on. You'll make money. You'll make money.
I mean, yeah,
people will buy them.
Whatever Nintendo makes will make money. Like,
yes,
that's the problem.
Just imagine that. Just imagine.
Everyone wants Diamond and Pearl remakes. Everyone wants Let's Go Johto. Like, are they gonna make these?
Oh God,
I don't know. Probably not.
God damn it, dude. Well, you know what, dude? One can pray, I guess, or one can just sit there and cross your fingers like an idiot. But anyways, they did throw something my way that I didn't know I wanted until I saw it. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, baby.
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah, so when we got the because me and Jesus, we both got the Star Wars PS4 with Darth Vader when Battlefront 2 came out, right? So when we got that, that
was Battlefront 1 actually.
Was it really?
Yeah. Because the Battlefront 2 was the Pro.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. It was Battlefront 1. Okay, well, we got that, right? And it came with the digital copy of Bounty Hunter, Jedi Starfighter, and the NES one I forgot already. I think it's Super Star Wars.
Super Star Wars.
And then Star Wars Pod Racing Revenge, right? So I remember everyone came over to my house and we were playing Revenge. We were all just drinking. We're like, all right, we're going to play this shit because this game's nuts. And I remember that game being nuts, right? Yeah. And I was like, man, but like I remember like in the first one, the original, not Revenge, the Star Wars Racer, it was really crazy because you crash and your engines start blowing up, and it just made it seem more real, right? Oh shit, like it's like the actual movie. So actually I streamed that game the other day, and it was $15 on the eShop. And oh my God, dude, like I know you talked shit about this game the other day. We were talking and I was like, no, like, dude, it's a fun game, man. It's a fun game. Like, given how old it is and how shit the graphics look, dude, just hauling ass, dude, while listening to Duel of Fates is a great experience. It's a really good experience.
I mean, yeah.
I'm looking at your face and I hate your face right now. I hate your fucking face. Why?
Just play like a better racing game, though.
No, dude.
Just put that shit in the background and then just roll, dude.
Nah.
You ever played Need for Speed Heat, dude? That shit's fire.
Dude. Need for Speed games were dope, man. Like they were dope.
And then they weren't.
And then they weren't.
Like, Heat is like pretty legit.
I need to try that out. Well, anyways, dude, Star Wars. It's racing with Star Wars skins, dude. And it gets in my head, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, man! I remember this shit being godlike. Well, anyways, yeah, dude, I beat the game already. It was being a kid, I was like, this thing's terrifyingly hard. Like I remember just like crashing everywhere. But obviously as a kid, what the fuck's a brake button, right? Like you just haul ass and you just smash against things. You're like, yeah, I'm not gonna stop. Why am I stopping? It's a racing game. Why am I slowing down?
I gotta win.
I gotta win, right? And then you figure it out, driving and stuff, right? So you're like, oh, makes sense. So yeah, dude, the game goes from extremely fucking easy to easy, right? Like. You get
really oh my god
yeah you get like Revenge is harder. Like the Revenge, they did like up the bar, right, for like a difficulty, because in that game it's generally hard. Like holy fuck, like this is actually pretty challenging. In this one, as long as you don't crash, like you'll be fine, right? So I beat it the other day. I played most of the tracks on stream. And yeah, I was just smoking the competition. It's just funny. It's just a goofy game, $15. I was like, fuck it, just to relive old memories, right? And so I got that out of the way. It has the 2-player split screen, so it's kind of couch split screen. So in case you're out there listening to this and you're interested, well, you can play with someone else. If you think it's too easy, you can play your friend, right? And the pods are actually pretty fucking cool. But yeah,
I'll give you that. Need for Speed doesn't have co-op.
There you go, dude. Fuck. Need for Speed, fucking suck it, suck it. Yeah, I mean the graphics are ass. The textures are ass. Like they look a little better. It runs a little smoother than obviously the one in Dreamcast or the N64. But it still runs kind of smooth, right? It still feels nice to play. It controls smoothly, and there you go.
I mean, it's gonna look shitty just because it's like that era, but
right?
Like, I was watching it on your stream, and I mean, it doesn't look
bad. Yeah, exactly. Like obviously,
you could still play it and be like, you'll be like, oh man, this is weird.
Yeah, this is old. Like this thing is dated, but like if you look at it, if you take face value for it and you look at it for what it is, that's what it looked like. And I'm sure, I just remember in my head, I was like. As a kid, I was like, "This looks fucking phenomenal." I was like, "Wow!"
Oh no, yeah, absolutely.
I was like, "This like frozen lake looks pristine. Like this shit looks
That's how all games.
Yeah, exactly. So just looking at that today, I was like, but it's cool. But yeah, man, I've been playing that. And then another one I've been playing. So this is an actual new game. I've been playing Hyper Scape.
Hyper Scape.
Yeah, it's the new battle royale from Ubisoft.
Ew.
Yeah, so you see, I knew it. I fucking knew it. As soon as I said battle royale, you're gonna be like, ew. So the reason why I want to talk about it because it is the new battle royale, and I got to play it. So I right now it's on the test. I guess it's not even a beta. It's test something. I forgot exactly the right terminology for it. Right, but it's pretty much a battle royale. Like I said right now. And if I were to put it into like terms of what it feels like, it's like Fortnite meets like Apex, at least in my mind. Cause I enjoy battle royales. I like playing them. I like to jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. It's like, okay, I don't need to commit. I just need to fucking go in there, kick some ass, get some dubs, and get out. I fucking hate you so much, dude. I want to punch you in the dumb face of yours right now. Anyways, dude.
It's okay, dude. I'll just respawn.
Oh, fuck, there you go, dude. Nah, just kidding. Okay, so one of the really cool things, all right, so it's very fast. Like it's fucking fast. Like, it's very fast gameplay. I thought Apex was a fast pace, like, Royale. No, dude, this thing is like, Apex, get the fuck out of the way. This thing is fast, dude. It's nuts, man. The mobility on this thing is insane. Like, the mobility is just nuts. Like you people are in the air for like seconds, dude. Like 3, 4, 5, 10 fucking seconds in the air. There's obviously your guns you can carry 2 at a time, and you can carry what are called hacks, right? So these hacks you can carry 2 at a time. You can switch them out for if you see them like dropped or whatever. There's some for offense, defense, and movement, right? So obviously offense, you can see the enemies through walls for like some seconds. You can, I guess get like a shield so you can defend yourself. You can attack. You can heal, right? You drop a little health pack, radius, people heal or whatever.
Okay.
You can teleport. You can go invisible and stuff like that. And so it's kind of like, okay, well, cool. most shooters now have that, or most pros have like some sort of little like ability, right? It's like, okay, we get it. Now, the coolest thing that I was like, this is actually really fucking cool for a variety of reasons. It keeps the audience and the players in the game like really, really well. Why do I say that? Okay, so you're streaming the game, right? Let's say you're streaming it and you die. In your, most games you're waiting for a respawn, or you're just out and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking dip out because they're not gonna revive me. I'm done. In this one, you turn into an echo, right? So you turn into like you turn into a ghost, and you're still in the game and you just move around, right? So you can actually help the people that are still alive, your colleagues, by scouting ahead, right? Or like, hey, you know what? There's someone behind this wall, and they can't see you, so you can move around. So you're a pair of eyes in the sky for the people that you're playing with. So you're recon. So I was like, okay, that's really cool, because even if you're dead, you're still actively playing. You're still in the game until like whenever your teammates or someone dies, they drop a little beacon. You stand there, press F because it's for the PC. So you press F, and then you're back in the game. You get revived. So all throughout, it's a good streaming game. And also why it's a good streaming game is because there's two modes to play it. There's playing it like just by yourself, multiplayer with your friends, and there's streamer mode. Now in streamer mode, what it does, it links your Ubisoft account and your Twitch accounts, since they are linked, that's how you get the drop for the code. When you go live on your channel, every so often a screen will appear on the screen where the gameplay is going on, and the people that are watching can actually vote for events that will happen in game, right? So everyone that's playing a certain game, if let's say people that are streaming it, that thing comes up, right? And it's like infinite ammo for like whatever seconds, more health packs, or zero gravity. And then you go there, you hover over, you click on one of them, and then you get your percentages, right? And then one of them, like the time expires, so one of them wins, and then the game, it's like, okay, special event beginning in 3, 2, 1, boom. It's next thing you know, infinite ammo. So everyone's fucking shooting for like a timer until it runs out, and then it's back to normal, right? So even people that are watching this can have a say on what they want to happen in game. And that, I was like, that's
pretty sick.
That is fucking nuts.
It's Stadia.
It's Stadia, but it actually works.
But it works.
It works, dude. Yeah, so I thought that was just nuts, right? Because I was watching Myth and Sancho West streaming, right? Which I got my code like 20 minutes into watching Sancho West stream. Like, I got that shit right away. So I did it, logged in, started playing. But while I was watching, I was actually like clicking like, oh, okay, well, infinite ammo sounds cool and this and that. And I was like, man, like, I'm generally invested into watching the stream, not only because it's fun to watch, a content creator that I like, but I also have a say on what he is, what he's playing right now. So I feel that is something that was implemented really well. Yeah. And it's right now, it's just at a test, it's not in a closed beta or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, so that's probably going to get better. And also makes me think about, what other games, eventually will start implementing this if it has a positive, review, right, in the gaming community. Yeah. So, like, is this like the next kind of like gold standard for Fortnite? Because a lot of people that's what like a lot of people were saying, right? And also myself, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. Playing a lot of battle royales, it gets boring because they're all kind of the same. It's like, okay, I get it. Battle Royale, I get the entirety of it. This one feels like a new thing. It actually feels like a new Battle Royale. Instead of just like, oh, it's from a different developer, it looks different skin, heroes, I get it. No, this one actually feels different. It's like, oh shit, okay, well, like, that's kind of cool. So yeah. So, it's a refreshing take on a Battle Royale. I'm enjoying the game right now. I'm really liking it. It's very difficult. I will say that it's a hard game. It's very fast paced. So I kind of like gotta get my head into it to play that. But yeah, I think the test goes out it goes black again today, the 7th. So I don't know when it's gonna come back, but I just think it's a really cool take, right? I know.
Well, like,
what's up?
I mean, like, my question is, what sets it apart besides like the Twitch integration? Like in the end, it's just like what I'm asking is like, is it a good game? You know,
it is a good game.
Like what makes it better than Apex? You know,
okay,
like, what makes it better than Fortnite?
You stay playing the game. Like you stay locked there. You don't die and then you just sit there and you're just waiting for your teammates to be res and you're like, no, like, yeah, you died, but you're still running around. You're still scaling walls. You're still doing everything and no one can see you. And all you're doing is like, holy shit, like there's someone behind this wall or someone over here running, watch out, they're coming behind you. And so you're interacting with like your teammates, like the interaction never stops. And then it's super fast paced, which makes it like fun because I feel like a lot of like battle royales kind of like, there is a way of like going super aggressive and going very defensive where you just kind of hide and you like, you know, just kind of like wait out till the end. No, like, and even in the circle, this buildings start collapsing. So the space where it's left empty, where you're no longer like where it closes, it's flat. So there's nowhere to hide and you start taking damage, right? So people are coming from the circle, like everything's flat already. So you can see a part, you know, it's like different things that like, make battle royale seem slower. No, this one just keeps it energetic the entire time. Like it's just really, really fast paced. That's why it's like, oh, like that's actually cool because you know myself, I'm kind of like in Apex. I'm like, I'm just gonna hide here for a little bit, and then you know like let's see what happens. No, there's no hiding there. Like you just gotta go all out. And especially since the movement is so fluid and fast. Like good luck hiding.
Is it hero based or
no?
No. So
no heroes.
Drop in just different guns.
Yeah.
No abilities or anything like that. Besides like those hacks you were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Those are in a sense your abilities. The guns are fun. The guns are pretty cool. And yeah, dude. And then at the end, before I forget, when I think there's I believe 5 squads left, a crown appears. And at that point, if you grab that crown and you can hold on to it for 45 seconds, you win.
Oh, just straight up?
That or elimination.
That's interesting.
That or being the last one alive. Right? So there's 2 ways of winning. It's like you can be like the last 2 groups, right? And let's say you grab the crown and you go into hiding, they can win. Or if you eliminate them, then the other team wins. Right? So it's like it turns into a capture the flag kind of thing at the very end in a small space.
Okay, so even with like if you kill the person that got the crown, you win.
It drops
too. Oh, the crown drops
and then you pick it up. Whoever picks it up and then just start running or defending. Right, so you gotta hold on to it for 5 seconds or team elimination to be the last one standing. Okay. So it's kind of like So again, it keeps the game super engaging. Right, it's like you're the last group, so I can't hide here because someone's got the crown. 45 seconds, game's over. So you gotta like really go after them. And then so being like the ghosts, the echoes, your job is to be like, okay, where is he? Dude, like that's what makes this game good and refreshing from other battle royales, especially because I play a lot of them. So that's definitely something.
I get you.
Something new.
I mean, like I guess I just come with like from like a negative bias on like battle royales. It's just. I mean, that's like it's all like seem like a really like a bunch of really cool features, but it just doesn't sound like it's something that I'm like interested in.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's not for everyone.
You know, definitely. Yeah. Like it's just like one of those things where like in the end, like if I were to play a battle royale, like it's definitely gonna be Apex.
Yeah.
Like that's just what sounds more fun to me, you know? Like,
right.
It sounds it's a standout from like all the battle royales. Where this it has like standout features.
Yeah.
You know? I don't like I mean obviously like I have to like look at more gameplay on it, you know. Because like my biggest thing with like battle royales is you know, it is the combat. But like from what you're telling me, the combat feels pretty much the same as like every other battle royale, you know, like unless they have like some crazy ass like Borderlands looking guns where it's like a shotgun that shoots sharks or something, you know.
Yeah, right.
You know, like it just seems like okay, like we're just gonna get guns. Like they're really focusing on like the fact that like you know like hey, like your viewers can interact, and then there's also like these really cool mechanics within the world.
Yeah.
But you know, like my thing is just like my main thing is gunplay. Like,
okay.
Gunplay or like you know combat like abilities. You know, like and I think that's why like Apex is so successful and it looks really cool just because it makes it it has a little bit of everything. You know, like it has a cool world, has a cool cast of characters, with all like really cool like and useful like abilities, which can enhance like the already good gunplay.
Right.
You know. Yeah. So that's my thing with it. You know, like it sounds like a really cool game, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna enjoy it. You know, like it's a cool feature as far as like the Twitch integration, but you know, like that's just a feature. You know, like in the end, like you don't want people watching your game, you want people playing it.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, obviously they know that there's an audience there. You know.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And that's like pretty much, you know, how many streamers are out there. You know, how many people watch these games, and it's just adding an additional, you know, feature for people to watch streams. You know, so they're trying to, building those partnerships, you know, it just makes it stronger with that game. It's like, man, like we got a lot of interaction with Hyper Scape. Sorry, I was hyperspace. Hyper Scape, you know, and like obviously that translates into a lot of different partnerships and different positive things for both the game and the partnership with Twitch and with streamers. You know, so.
Yeah, like it just seems like one of those things where like it should just be a feature and not something that you're kind of banking on.
Right.
And like I'm not saying that that's like their main focus, like, oh, let's make it like, you know, like that game for streamers, you know, but like every time I hear anyone in like social media talking about Hyper Scape, it's about, you know, like Twitch integration.
Right.
Like, you know, I never see like, oh man, like this game is really cool because you don't really die, you know?
Yeah.
Like they should focus on the gameplay rather than, I mean, in the end, it's just marketing, you know, obviously like what's going to get around more that like you don't die, or like, hey, you can play it technically like as a viewer on Twitch, you know, with your favorite streamer. Like I get it. I get where it's coming from. Like for my personal thing, it's just, it doesn't seem appealing.
Right.
To me.
No, for sure. Understandable. Yeah. Like if you ask me, my highlight is being alive when they kill you. Like still like playing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, like I give a rat's ass about like the streaming integration, you know, like it's like, okay, cool. Well, like I'm watching, I'm not watching, I decide not to partake. Yeah, it's whatever, you know. Obviously, you know, that's just again a feature. It's not a part of like, it's not a sales point, I guess, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so no, and when you talk about the guns are really fucking good.
Yeah. But are they Apex good, you know?
Good question.
Because my thing, you know, like obviously,
yeah, no, Apex guns are just fucking.
They're
on
just
one.
incredible, man.
On
like,
one.
That's you know, like everyone talks shit about Fortnite, but you know, it's a fun game, man. Like, you can't knock it. The only thing is just like I fucking hate the gunplay in Fortnite.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I think guns in Fortnite is just the worst thing ever. Like once they started adding like goofy weapons, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's why Apex and Call of Duty have done so well, because those fucking guns, dude. Those guns are just solid, man. Like they just feel so good. And yeah, like these guns feel good, but I think they require a lot less skill, to be honest. A lot of these are like, they do a lot of splash damage. My second game, I got like 9 kills, and I was just shooting like a grenade launcher, like a madman, and I got like in third place. No, the shotgun I didn't like, actually kind of sucks.
Wow.
I'd rather have
not your game, dude.
I'd rather have the EVA or the Peacekeeper or anything on Apex, dude, or the Mastiff, you know, so or just any fucking shoddy in COD, dude. You know, so
literally anything.
Yeah, dude. Or especially the Judge in Valorant.
Ooh.
All right, but I guess we're talking about that for a little too long. But yeah, again, Hyper Scape. New game, new battle royale. So if you didn't get a chance to play it, you know, look at some gameplay. I'm sure we're gonna have more open windows to play it soon. And yeah, if you guys are interested, you know, there's a lot of gameplay videos out there, so check those out. All right, Jesus. So now, 40-something minutes into our episode,
we timed this very poorly.
Yeah, we really did. But it's cool, baby. No laws, dude. No laws when you're drinking Diet Coke. Just kidding. I don't know what that.
I have a white claw in the fridge.
I don't know.
I'm trying to get serious.
God damn it. I have like sick bastard. It's a Tuesday. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm off tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go, dude. Why are okay, enough. All right, so now getting a little more serious, right? So this past week has been kind of rough for the FGC community, right, as a whole. Because there have been some allegations made against some of the players in the community, doing some pretty shitty things that humans just shouldn't do, man. So, due to these allegations of, very fucked up misconduct, EVO is now, the online EVO that was going to partake this year is now canceled, right? So, we didn't want to go too into detail about what these players, are doing. It's just really shitty acts of, misconduct with, people of underage and, pretty much not consent, to a lot of these things. And, that's something that affects the FGC community, in a lot of ways, not just like them not being partaking in the player, because, that's fucked, get them out of here. Like, we don't want those people in the community. So we have, I guess right now, like this conversation, right, of how can the community be better, man? Like, how can we like stop or like, not have this anymore, man? Like, at least in like, I don't know. It's just a nuts subject, and it's obviously, like something that needs to be talked about because we're gamers, dude. Yeah, like especially like you're an FGC guy, like at heart, man. Like, those are your games. You've talked about fighters multiple times. So I generally want to know like what you think, man. Like from your perspective, because we haven't talked about this before.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot. It's definitely way too much. Because not only like we said we don't want to kind of just mention everything that happened, because if you're curious, just there's plenty of news outlets that have covered it before.
Yeah.
But the biggest part about it is that the fact that they're not just players, they're top level players.
Right.
They're EVO champions,
community figures.
They're like high profile commentators, and the biggest one, the ex-CEO of EVO. Yep. The most prestigious fighting game tournament in the world. Right. Not just your local at like an arcade around the corner. Like, no, it's the biggest tournament in the world.
Yeah.
Where do I even start, man? Like, it's just finding out those news was just really, really hard that day. Honestly, like I just woke up and kind of just saw like a shitstorm on the internet.
Yeah.
And it was throughout the whole day, because it all started with someone coming out with a statement. It had started like the day before that, it was another Smash player that came out with their story.
Right.
And then, everything just started kind of like snowballing, everyone started like, in like solidarity, started like coming out with their stories and, not necessarily like to like cancel people, but, just to hold them accountable just because they are high profile figureheads, They shouldn't be in a position of power within this community if they're gonna abuse that power.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like it's just a lot to like kind of take in, just because like like I've been a part of the FGC for like such a long time. Like I know what this community like. I know the good in this community. Like I've seen it firsthand. Like I personally like have never dealt with any of these people.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard like stories of like certain people. And I was just like, they were never like my favorite people. But like some of these people, like I like held like not like they weren't like idols or anything, but like I held them in like high regard.
Right.
Just because of like that position that they held. Like and like on screen and on the like on tournament feeds, they seemed like generally like caring people. Mostly like I'm talking about. Not on a personal level, but on a community effort.
Right.
Level,
Yeah.
They're there for the love of the games, and like in the end, like, aren't we all?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just so much, man, so much. So, it's a lot of things that are gonna happen from now on. A lot of like different people in the community started coming out, just kind of voicing their support, and just kind of like making that promise to like, just help the community better.
Yeah.
But man, it's just one of those things where it sounds like shitty, but like it's one of those where we kind of just have to like move past it,
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to like kick it under the rug or anything, but it's just like, okay, like this happened, like what next? Like like how are we gonna like do things better next time? Like how are we gonna stop this from happening again? And it's just like, not to be negative, but like it doesn't stop,
Mm-hmm.
It's about people just trying to just make everything better. But in the end, like, are you ever gonna really stop like all abusers and like just shitty people in the world? Like, no.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are different ways that we can, make the community better.
Right.
I'm not one to speak of like how to, but
there has to be a way.
Yeah, there has to be a way. Like different people have to like get together and like just. I don't want to put like all this into like the TOs, but like, it is a big part of it.
Right.
They have to like formulate some sort of rule set around protecting minors and I mean it's just anyone just because at this point like it's obviously like minors and females, but like we've seen stories of male players as well. Like, it's just everyone at this point. Like how do we help our players?
Right.
And then you also have to like find that balance because people will still bitch at like more rules, more security measures. Like it's a very fine line that you have to kind of walk. But at this point, you just kind of have to take that L and just add those extra rules, add those extra precautions.
Yeah,
because like in the end, it's mostly children that are affected in this. And then being like the main, I guess, like the quote unquote, like main culprit of this whole situation, it's Smash, like it all comes from Smash.
Mm-hmm.
And like who plays Smash? Mostly children. Not trying to like, this is not a time of me like talking shit about Smash.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's literally just, it's a game that's catered to children.
Right.
So who are gonna play this game? It's children. So like, it's one of those things that's gonna suck for like kids, but like, I think they should just be accompanied by like an adult present, whether it be a guardian or a parent.
Yeah.
But like at this point, like there's just like too much going on in the community to like just let them just kind of run amok into a tournament.
Yeah, right. Like there should be some sort of, I guess, like supervision or something, or something just implemented there that, can, in a way, not guarantee, but add a level of security, a level of like some sort of wall or partition between like a lot of these players interacting with some of these minors, some of these like women in the community and stuff like that. I mean I'm not an FGC guy. I know very little about this. I've never gone to an EVO. I've never, go to tournaments, like locals and stuff sometimes, and I haven't gone in a while, just to hang out with friends, like with you guys and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, from like an FGC community standpoint, like I can't, I guess, say much, but what I can talk about, is how like this is something that has to like we have the offender, right? There needs to be I believe now some sort of like stricter rules or stricter boundaries placed on these figureheads for the community from their sponsors, from maybe like even like the events that they attend, right? As a safety measure to like stop this from happening to a certain level, right? Like you said, it's probably not going to stop. But it could prevent, at least, some prevention is better than no prevention at all.
Yeah, it's just like, it's kind of hard to do those kind of things just because, like, how is a sponsor going to prevent any of this? You know, like, you can't tell a player, like, well, you can't go party. You can't go out. You're here to play. You're here to work. Like, in the end, but what they do with their free time is up to them.
Yeah,
you know, like,
right.
How can you implement these measures without infringing in, like, people's, like, personal freedoms, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like...
Well, that's something, too. They can, like, you know, make it part of the contract, right? It's like, we are going to, you know, you want to be at, like, you want to be sponsored? Okay, well, here's our contract, right? Like, it's going to be more intrusive, you know, than previously before. But this is a measure we have to take, you know, I guess, you know, kind of like, okay, well, like,
I mean,
certain
like,
restrictions.
like, it's just like,
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get you. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, contracts out there, like, for, like, players out there, like, have some sort of, like, restrictions, but they're not infringing into, like, personal freedoms. You know, that's the biggest problem. You know, like, they are people in the end. You know, like, they can just do whatever they want in their life. You know, because where was I going with this? You know, like, if you see, like, professional players, like, at parties and, like, hanging out, like, you're saying, like, they can't do that kind of stuff. And then, you know, like, if they implement those measures in their contracts, then people are just not going to want a sponsor, you know? Like,
well, I mean,
And then essentially, like, in a way, the community will suffer because there's no money coming into the community.
Yeah.
Because of, like, these high restrictions. It's like, okay, like, well, this contract is just a shitty and binding contract. And, like, you shouldn't take that. Like, any lawyer will tell you, like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, you see that.
You
yeah,
know?
So. Like.
And, like, it's just, like, you know, I don't think it's on the sponsors. You know?
Okay.
I think all the sponsors that were involved in this situation did great by just kind of dropping people.
Right,
you know? It's like,
absolutely.
But in the end, you know, like, it's just, you know, it's all, like, just money to them, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, okay, like, well, we're going to get a lot of bad PR because we're still, like, supporting this person, so let's just drop them.
Right.
You know, it's fine. You know? And I don't quote me on it just because, like, I don't know too much about it, but, you know, in the FGC, most sponsors are just, you know, essentially, like, flight, travel, and, like, tournament entry fee.
Right.
So, like, they're not providing, like, a salary to these players. You know, their tournament winnings are usually their salary. I mean, I'm pretty sure it changes depending on, like, the tier of the org.
Right.
But yeah, so, like, they're, you know, it's completely fine for them. It's like, yeah, like, I'll lose out on, like, travel or, like, and the possibility to, like, bring home a title. Like,
right.
It's fine. So like, I don't think it should be on the sponsors either. You know? Like,
and I'm not saying it's on the sponsors. I'm just saying, you know, like, it's a really fucked up, like, measure, right?
Yeah, no, like, it definitely is. Like, it's just, like, there's no way. It just sucks, like, because there's kind of, like, no way of winning it, you know, because it's like, okay, like, if sponsors put these measures, and it's like, well, no one's gonna get sponsors now. And it's like, well, if TOs, you know, ban entry, you know, like, you know, let's restrict entry to a tournament for 18 and over. It's like, well, that's not very inclusive, and that infringes on the values of the FGC, which is just, you know, it's for the community. Right. It is for everyone. Yeah. Anyone can enter. It's arcade rules. You know, it's like, okay, well, you know, like, let's make sure that we don't allow children or just minors in general, like, just to go to, like, after parties and stuff like that. It's like they usually don't, you know, right. Like, and if it's, like, at a bar or, like, you know, if there's alcohol involved, you know, they'll ID and stuff like that. And I like to think that those people are, like, good at their jobs and, you know, actually, like, enforcing those rules. But Moy,
what's up?
You and I were children before.
We were.
Children will just do things. Like,
they will.
You know, I'm not trying to put the blame on them, but if these kids want to drink and, like, socialize with adults, they're gonna socialize with adults and drink.
Yep.
You know, there's no stopping it. You know, like, in the end, who this falls on is the abusers.
Yes.
It's the people actually enabling this behavior.
Yes. These
people should just, you know, like, I really don't know what to tell them personally. It's just, you know, other than, you know, like, self-reflection or, like, even, like, seeking out, like, some sort of external help. But, you know, after reading all these stories, all of these stories would have been stopped had they just said no. Like, those, like, these abusers could have just, you know, stopped any advances whatsoever, and then we wouldn't be in the situation. Right. You know, there's still stories where, you know, It's the he said, she said. There's like, I thought she was 18, like all this stuff. But like, no matter what, you could have just said no and not been involved in that scenario.
Yeah.
Like, every single one of these scenarios could have been stopped had the person at fault said no. Like,
right.
It's just shitty people are going to be shitty people, and there's not too much we can do about it. And it sounds like super depressing and super pessimistic, but I like generally believe in the FGC. I'm glad these people will be out. For how long? Who knows? And these communities, like, people kind of tend to have like a track record of like coming back as like quote unquote like reformed.
Right.
So if they actually come back and they kind of like learn their mistakes, cool. Like, I'm not really anyone to judge them,
Mm-hmm.
If they like realize, like, because in the end, like, all these victims, they're not trying to like create like this whole witch hunt against them. They're just trying to like make them realize that what they did was wrong.
Right.
So it's just very complicated, and all we can do from here is just kind of keep going and then see what happens next.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then okay, so now with CEO's cancellation, right? Real quick, think it's gonna affect EVO in any way?
Like in the future?
Yeah, in the future.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, there's no way. It's too much. It's too much of a prestigious event to just up and drop it.
Okay.
Like, if anything, they're fucking lucky that this year was the online version.
Yeah, because had it been physical, that would have been a lot of money. Just.
Yeah, it just, like, it's one of those. It would have been like a hit to the wallet, but not like anything that they can't come back from.
Mm-hmm.
But just being an online production, even the games involved were like very, not low tier games, but it wasn't like their normal heavy hitters. They had like some corporate sponsorship for like exhibitions and stuff,
right.
But it wasn't anything big. Like, their main games were like My Little Pony and like Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so they should be counting their blessings that this is just online. But even then, like, it sounds like I'm like villainizing EVO.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the villains in the scenario,
right?
Mr. Wizard is,
right, exactly.
Like, everyone at EVO, like, is just super hardworking, and like, they've worked years and years, decades now, to like put on this event, to make this a great, huge event. I know, and especially now that Tony Cannon is like now like the CEO,
right?
It seems like things are like could, like, not can get better, but like, it's just it's a good move on them. Like, point is, like, I've never liked Wizard.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't like him. Like, there was just something I was just like, wow, like, I just don't know, fucking see him.
I don't know what the fuck that was until like all this shit started. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So yeah, like, he's just like the head of EVO, but now because it's him and the Cannon brothers. It's Tony and Tom, and they're actually the ones working on the Riot fighting game.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's them. So yeah, they're FGC OGs. Like, they've been there since the beginning. But it just seems hopeful. Like, okay, cool. Like, it's someone that like kind of like the community can rally behind.
Yeah.
And like be with them. But yeah, like, I don't think anything's gonna happen to EVO. Not at all. And even people just being toxic and be like, oh, CEO should be the new EVO, like, or Combo Breaker should be the new EVO. Like, no, there's no new EVO. Like, EVO's always gonna be EVO. Like, those tournaments do their own thing.
Right.
But EVO's always gonna be there and just do their thing. So they should just keep them separately. But yeah, like, we'll see in EVO 2021. Like, absolutely.
All right, for sure. And then I guess lastly, right? So I guess this is just like a thing out there. Okay, so Nintendo obviously has never, put money and enforced, right, like the Smash community, right? 'Cause it's like we're putting out a family game for families, for fun, for kids. So they don't like sponsor any of the events. They don't throw any money at that. They don't sponsor any players, nothing like that. Which now makes me think, right? Like I always wonder, like, hey man, like I get it, like Nintendo's providing this game. The community has made it a fighting game. I get it. Okay, cool. They turned it into something that's not supposed to be. Now that with all this happening, I'm like, you know what? Maybe Nintendo was, kind of like using like that, like not supporting that as a safety measure, from, possibly being a problematic thing to endorse, people that are not from their company, people that are not on their payroll, people like just keeping that entirely separate does not hurt them or even mentions them in any headline at all whatsoever. Like they're completely, free from all this, removed from all this, which makes you think, like maybe that's Nintendo's, like maybe that's why they never really endorsed any of this or anyone.
I mean, yeah, like obviously, like that's absolutely correct, and they just don't want to be associated with any of that. But I don't think they like saw like, oh, probably a bunch of pedophiles over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where like they're like, if this game is for children. These just balding dudes are just playing this. Like, get me out of here.
Yeah,
type thing. So yeah, like they just want to distance themselves with it. But hot take. I think this is the time that Nintendo should step up and back, not assume responsibility, but like really be there for the people that kind of give a shit about their game.
Okay.
Because if there's anyone who can protect children, it's Nintendo. You want these like hard like hitting restrictions, they'll be the ones to do it.
You're right.
But like if Nintendo can figure things out, it's like if anyone can figure things out, it's Nintendo. Like if they put on like an actual like solid and competitive event, with tournament rule sets, like no items, no 4-player Smash, like get that shit out of here. Like it would be Nintendo. Like I think they would actually be able to like put some sort of energy into like a competitive aspect of their game, and like they kind of do. Like they have a division for it. Like they have like money into like Nintendo Versus. Like that's their whole like initiative for like competitive games, but they don't know what competitive games are. I don't understand. Like they like put on like all these events like for Mario Kart and like ARMS and Smash, but they just don't feel like true competitive like environments.
I get it.
I don't want to say esports, but still, like you see something like League of Legends and Riot, and how Riot, the fact that Riot is the one implementing these rule sets and like this like infrastructure for esports. That's why they're so successful.
Yeah.
On the other hand, then you see Overwatch and Blizzard, and you're just like, oh, maybe a company being involved is not so good. But what I'm talking about. Like I feel like they could do something with it. Maybe don't put that pressure on the TOs, and be the big boy and kind of take your game. Like, hey, well, let me run shit. Like I feel like they could be the ones who could protect kids. Like, will I like what they come out with? Probably not. But like I don't know. It's just at this point it's just kind of like spitballing a bunch of ideas, just because we're at that point where it's like we got to do something.
Yeah, and it's obviously not gonna be resolved from one day to the other or whatever. It's gonna obviously take a lot of consideration for a lot of different things, a lot of different people, and it's gonna be tough, but yeah, hopefully things do get is there a cat?
Yes.
Oh God. I was like looking, I was like
we got a little special guest
that
on the show today.
Is extremely cute. Oh my God, look at her. Yeah, so but hopefully with time one day we can hopefully find like that sweet spot, right, where people feel safe, people are safe, in these environments and in these competitions, and everyone can just get back to enjoying the game, you know, which is what brings us all together at the end of the day, you know, those sweet video games. You know, so just don't be shitty, you know, just don't, like, if you know something's feels wrong or is wrong, just don't fucking do it, like, because it's probably wrong. So yeah. Well, I guess that's it for today's episode of Goodnight Gamescast. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to talk to you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation. If you guys liked what you saw today, if you guys did or didn't, shoot us an email to our emails on both our social medias. You can DM us on both Twitter, Instagram, or you can even leave us a comment on our YouTube channel, which is Goodnightcast at youtube.com. Now, with that being said, thank you.
And good night.